about it. Can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder? There's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? If I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. Well, maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it. What are you saying? You kidnapped me! I'm sorry, but that hasn't been proven yet, has it? The only thing I admitted to was sending the letters. Besides, those letters contain no threats or coercions. I simply conveyed information. Information that each recipient would find beneficial. It's intensely frustrating how extraordinarily ingenious this entire ploy ultimately was. Jesus. You crafty little... Can we do something about it? What was it he said? Integrating murder? Instigating murder is when a person directs someone else to commit murder. The person who directed the murder can be charged as he was committing the crime, as if he committed the crime himself. So we just have to find proof that he directed those murders. You make it sound so easy. To be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little. You're all trying to frame an innocent person for murder. Don't you understand? I'm not obligated to waste any more time on this pointless discussion. The police are waiting for you outside of this tent. You have nowhere to run. Really now? You think I wouldn't have an escape route prepared? For example, let's say I gave an order so that all the animals here attacked you. Now, what if I were to take my leave during the ensuing chaos? What'd you say? You can't be serious. It was just an example. Wouldn't that make for an interesting show? Here's another idea. What if I pulled out a hidden gun and took John hostage? That might be more exciting. We'll never allow you to do such a thing. I can't tell whether or not Simon is being serious. However, when it comes to him, we should consider anything a possibility. If you continue to bore me with your drivel, I'll end the show right here. Oh, I'd like you to keep that in mind before you make any baseless objections. Can I make any careless remarks? Oh, great. That's how you know we're at the end game. Isn't there some way I can charge him with crimes? Okay. Think about it. Can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder. There's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? If I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. Well, maybe I did say it, but there's no way for you to prove it. Is Simon really innocent of instigating the murders? That's impossible. I'm certain that it was all part of his murder plot. Yeah. We know he had the will to commit the crimes. We just need some way to prove it. I'm gonna be taking a bit of a gamble. Do you think pressing is the same thing as objecting? I don't think so. You incited others to commit murder, and they did so. If proof of that was established, you would be charged as if you were yourself committed the murders. I know I heard it just a while ago, but what's the technical term again? It's instigating murder, Kay. Blaze, Patricia Rowland, and Knightley. Their crimes are unforgivable, of course. However, the one who pulled the strings from behind the scenes and drove them all to murder was none other than you, Simon Keyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you really do speak your mind freely. But you know... Instigated murder, there's not a single word about that in the letter. Just trying to think. Oh! Oh, hang on. Is it possible? Hang on. Give me a second here. What would it be? Would it be this? A recording of what was intercepted from the bug that was planted on K. Yeah! Yeah, you already admitted to enough. It is my firm conviction that you instigated the murders. After all, you told me so yourself. Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze the Best to kill Jill Crane. What? Ta-da! Did I say that? I really don't remember. Smug. You may think you can deceive us as much as you want, But unfortunately for you, unfortunately, you used a bug to eavesdrop on our conversations. But there was someone else who wiretapped that bug of yours and recorded the whole thing. It was recorded? In other words, the conversation between you and that clown is recorded on that tape? Langzy says, the schemer drowns in his own schemes. And this is what he meant. Miss Swift, I'd like to listen to your tape. Roger! Ah! It's right about here. Mr. Edgeworth, Judge Courtney's cell phone is ringing. Who is this? Are you the person who ambushed Kay? Mr. Edgeworth, I want to listen in on this too. Very well. Speakerphone. This is where it starts. Well, I must say. Huh? Well, that's odd. What's wrong? Well, there ain't nothing recorded past this point. What? What? Why? Why wasn't it recorded? Too bad, so sad. Did you really think I'd leave behind any incriminating evidence? The bug I planted has a special feature. It can be turned on and off with a remote control. But what? That sort of thing exists? Certainly, remote-controlled listening devices do exist. However, are you saying you switched off the device so that your own voice would not be recorded? Precisely! Impossible! You couldn't have done that unless you knew you were being recorded. Isn't it obvious I knew? I guess you just don't get it. You could call it a hunch. I had a feeling I was being wiretapped. Miss Swift, was it? I figured things out because you knew about the kidnapping. Don't tell me. You were listening in on that conversation? That's right! Oh, come to think of it, I'm surprised you didn't realize it until now. Some genius prosecutor you turned out to be, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, let's see you say that again once you're rotting in prison. Oh my! And what was the end result of all this? Since you don't have any proof of the instigation charges, it's game over. Mr. Prosecutor, is my record no help to you at all? Ain't there something, anything at all in my recording? Miss Swift. Okay. Yeah? The bug was planted in your badge, right? Do you have any ideas? How do you expect me to come up with an answer right off the top of my head? You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. How unsightly. You're all fussing over useless evidence. Let's move on to the next topic. Next! What's this? Seems a bit eager to change the topic of conversation. You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. Only Kay came into contact with Simon. If any sound was recorded at the time, she was the culprit. Miss Swift, how long have you been recording? Since 2 nights ago, I reckon. Really? Damn, that's a long-ass tape. Since 2 nights ago. In that case, when could a conversation with Simon possibly have been recorded? 2 nights ago! 2 nights ago. Simon brought Kay to the roof. If we listen to the recording from that time frame... Miss Swift, please let us listen to the recording from 2 nights ago. Huh? Okie dokie. This is the sound of a hot air balloon. That's right. At the time, Simon was carrying Kay into a hot air balloon. Ergo, he was near Kay. Isn't there anything recorded? Anything at all would be good. Bang! Clang! That was a gunshot. Bzz. Seems you were quick to deactivate the bug. However, you were a little too late. You can't run anymore. That gunshot ties you to the case. What are you saying? There's no gun involved in this case, is there? No, there should be someone connected to the case who fired a gun. Let's strike with the evidence that points to that person. Which piece of evidence connects the gunshot to the case? Yeah! Yeah! Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Dad, this was forever ago! Ah!
Take that!
Yeah, there was! It's written right here in the body double's autopsy report. Gunpowder residue was detected on his right hand. Where was Kay at the time this gunshot was recorded? That's right, she was being carried to the roof of the Grand Tower in your balloon. And as it turns out, there were a few more people on that very same rooftop at the time. You mean the double and me? Certainly after we talked for a brief moment, the body double noticed something and had me leave before him. Now, what if the gunshot rang out after that? We can clearly hear it in the recording. I doubt that you wouldn't have noticed it. Do you intend to feign ignorance until the very end? That's nothing more than mere conjecture.
Not so fast!
What we heard on the recording was not just a gunshot. Bang and clang. If you listen closely, you can hear the bullet hitting something. The body double was aiming at Simon, then. The bullet may have struck which piece of evidence? Well, if I had to make a wild guess, probably the huge-ass freaking balloon.
Take that!
The body double likely fired the gun at the balloon. If we assume that the bullet hit something, it would have been the balloon's basket. Let's examine it immediately. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Oh! Wow, look at that! Shot right in the iron plate. And hey, the bullet's even in there too. It's a bullet hole. Did you not think to check that? A bullet hole was found in the basket. You won't be able to talk your way out of this one. Boom, shakalaka boom. How do you intend to explain the gunshot and bullet hole? So you figured it out. You're good. I guess it's impossible to hide anything from you. Spit it out already. Okay, no need to be impatient. 2 nights ago. It happened when I was riding the balloon to the rooftop. I saw the body double and you, Miss Courtney, on the roof. Talk about a surprise. Only the double noticed me. He told Miss Courtney to leave ahead of him. He then pointed a gun at me and fired. Why did he want to shoot down the balloon? It's simple. The body double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Kill me? That's right. You talked to the double about John, didn't you? Well, it's not like the body double would have met with you otherwise. From his point of view, it was like showing him evidence that he was a fake. Oh, I was mistaken then. Okay, he obviously did. He did know. He kept it secret and pointing that, yeah, I gotcha. You mean he was afraid of Judge Courtney because she knew about John's past? Afraid? That's exactly right. That body double was a coward after all. I mean, that much is true. I even remembered how his hands were trembling when he fired that gun at my balloon. Are we all clear now? I was only there by chance. Just a friendly witness who was passing by. So you say, so you say. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Definitely a pressing situation. Surprise. He knows me, told Courtney to leave. And then pointed a gun at me and fired. Alright. But if that was his intent, then the bullet struck the balloon's basket cleanly. I panicked and quickly tried to get away so he wouldn't shoot me down, but talk about a close call. You say he tried to get away right then? That's right. Is there a problem? Is there a problem with this statement? Yeah, I think there would be. You must have placed Kay on the rooftop. You couldn't have gotten away before then, correct? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. After the body double fired one shot, he entered the hatch to the 51st floor. He looked around for a bit and then landed on the roof. Please add that statement to your testimony. Sure, I don't mind. Well, you're sure as all hell about to. You dang dingus. Man, if you were in there, hang on. Hell, I got so much stuff to go through. Where is it? There it is.
Objection!
Nope, smug. Gonna say none of that. Once again, you lied. Lied? The body double could not have entered the storeroom on the 51st floor 2 nights ago. Miss Hart's testimony proves it. What? How can you trust that sham journalist's testimony? Because it's right. What'd you say? You can't insult my mentor like that. I'll throw a bear trap at your face. 2 nights ago, that lady was... 2 nights ago, that lady was staking out the 51st floor. Given that, just how did the body double leave the roof? Indeed, that is what we must now prove. If he did not use the elevator or the 51st floor to leave the roof, only one route remains. How did the body double leave the roof without using the elevator on the 51st floor? Well, the only option I can possibly tell is the balloon itself. The body double flew. He flew? Simon Keys, he rode in your balloon. Hey, stop joking around. Why would I have needed to give that body double a lift? The elevator had a security camera, and the 51st floor was being watched by Miss Hart. Your balloon was the only way the body double could have left the roof. At the circus, we often perform dangerous stunts in order to surprise the audience. You think you got me cornered? Sorry, but the show ends here. What? Hey, you. Lotta, was it? I'd like to ask you something. Are you saying you stood watch on the 51st floor the entire time without any breaks? Well, reckon course. There ain't no mistakes in my testimony. Really now? But didn't the sound of Mr. Edgeworth's assistant falling into the storeroom cause you to faint? God damn, why do you have to know everything? Sigh! Didn't mention it before, but after that, I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted? You know, something like that. So something did happen! Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. Ah! What's your point? Nobody's perfect. Look at her, Mr. Edgeworth. That's the kind of person you're relying on. Don't be hating on Lotta, jackass. Kay fell into the storeroom after the body double had left the roof. In that case, I have a theory on how things happened. After that cowardly body double fired a shot at me, he went and hid in the shadows until Kay fell into the storeroom. What? So what if he was hiding? Good grief, you guys still haven't noticed? What if the body double stayed hidden until Lotta had fainted? And then he went down to the 51st floor. That can't be. Precisely. The locked room mystery on the roof has been unlocked. Gah! Gah! He even said it in my voice. But wait, there's more. I told the hidden body double about John Marsh. That's why he attacked John the next day during practice, but got himself killed instead. In other words, the one who murdered the body double was none other than John. John had no motive to kill the body double. He knew. He knew he was the real president's son. How would he have known that? Because I told him so. In a letter. But what did you say? That is a lie. Yep, it's all a lie. But then again, maybe not. Maybe I really did tell him. Right, John? It's true that I caused Mozilla's head to fall, but I didn't know about my dad until today. I'm not lying. Oh, really? I wonder about that. I found out about the head falling thanks to the bug. Now, if you were the one who caused it to fall and the body double was crushed to death, that settles it. You're the culprit. You successfully carried out your revenge. Congratulations. All the pieces of the puzzle are now in place, as Mr. Edgeworth would say. The logic fits. Now then, any rebuttals? I'll show you a rebuttal. Okay, fine. Manipulating humans into fighting with each other. Sounds just like me, right? I did the same thing to Knightley and Blaze. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? Do you understand now who the body double's real killer is? The truth that I provided them with gave them a big motive for murder. Get it? Those two tried to kill each other because of the truth you're so fond of. Impossible. Hey, you detectives over there. Hurry up and arrest this murderer. What's wrong? Why aren't you moving? Damn. I thought so. Just admit it. In the end, aren't you all the same as Blaze and the body double? You ignore the prime suspect and come after me without any evidence. How easily it can be distorted to best suit your needs, this law you all believe in. That is by no means true.
Objection.
If you're not gonna arrest anyone, maybe I should have a talk with the policeman outside. If I tell them that John Marsh is the killer, they'll be forced to take action. Simon Keyes, your testimony isn't over yet. Really? I figure you'd try to stop me, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any evidence, do you? Which means there's no chance for you to win, right? But if you still plan to stop me, you should be prepared to take on this much risk. Jesus, that's a lot of riscole. That much? I mean, it's not the most I've ever seen potentially taken away. It's only natural, after all. The fate of the true culprit, John Marsh, is at stake here. Hey, Miles. Yes? Why don't you take a nice deep breath? Mr. Shields? At times like this, you should take a breather and think back. Defense attorneys always remain calm in a pinch and smile in the face of danger. The point of contention between your logic and his claim lies in the body double's escape route. How about, for example, we think of it like this. What's important isn't whether or not the body double got on the balloon, but rather, if we were to assume he did, what circumstances would have allowed for that? Turn my thinking around. Huh. Well, all I'm doing is a cheap imitation of your old man. Did it help? Circumstances that would have allowed the body double to get on the balloon. That's right, the body double not only had a large build, but he also had a gun. And in spite of that, no traces of sleeping drugs were found in his system. Which means it can't be. I'm thinking really hard right now. Mr. Edgeworth, are you ready yet? Hope you haven't forgotten about this. Yeah, I haven't. This is bad. I must break his testimony somehow. Manipulating humans into fighting each other sounds like you. Same thing to Knightley and Blaze. I mean, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. Double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? Darn it! Does he intend to play innocent until the very end? The body double's cause of death was rather unique. If he was crushed under the monster's head, then the killer would be John after all. Isn't there anything else that could have crushed the double? Something else that could have crushed the body double. I mean, if that's the question that we're trying to answer, then yeah. Yeah, there totally is a thing that could have done it.
Objection.
I think I got it. John was not the one who killed the body double. He was crushed by a monster. Quit clowning around! This isn't like you at all. Oh, I get it. Since John is supposed to understand the heart of a monster. The one who understands the heart of monsters is you freak. Not even I have monsters for friends, you know. You are the... God, you don't even understand. Okay, you're stupid, too. Stop being so modest. Didn't you have one very important friend? A monster you control at will? Simon Keyes! You're the one who killed the body double. That's... Lion balloon. A monster made of cloth that expands when filled with hot air. It suits you quite well, wouldn't you agree? Damn! Sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You've been fixated on your claim that you manipulated John and the body double. Probably because it's an impossible fantasy of yours. After all, even an animal tamer cannot tame the dead. The body double had already been murdered while he was on the roof. And the murder weapon was the balloon you were in. I see. Although it floats in the air, that balloon still weighs several hundred pounds. When the double threatened you on the rooftop, you just smashed him. You immediately came up with a plan to defend yourself. And that plan was to crush him with your balloon. Whether the body double wanted to get on or that he was carrying a gun, none of that matters. Because what you carried in your balloon was the body double's corpse.
Objection.
Hold on a second, Mr. Edgeworth. You're saying the double was killed on the rooftop 2 nights ago? Well, that simply doesn't match up with the time of death. Eh? What did you say? That's not like you at all, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a good look at the autopsy report. The time of death was around 11 p.m. last night. Last night? That's right, the very night that Mozilla's head fell. Well, Johnny boy, come on, how about telling us the truth? You killed your father, right? I know the feeling. You hated him, didn't you? Your father who left you all alone forever. You're wrong. I had no idea that guy was my dad. Not this again. Didn't I personally tell you myself? Was my logic wrong? No, I feel like we must be on the right path. It just must be another thing he planned for. Mr. Edgeworth, allow me to thank you once again for chasing down Blaze and Patricia and bringing them both to ruin. My revenge was a success, all thanks to your logic. If only the time of death matched up, then my logic would fit. Perhaps he did something to throw off the time of death? And what's more, Dane Gustavia, was it? You even took down the culprit of the IS-7 incident. Dane Gustavia and the IS-7 incident. That's it! Gustavia killed Dover and hid his body in a block of ice. Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw out the time of death. Yep. I gotcha. If the time of death had coincided with the tea party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected. That is correct. Damn. Like father, like son. It's a shame that I didn't get to witness his destruction. How can you say that? Was it Mr. Gustavia your father, Simon? I'm scared. I'm so scared. Miss Rowland keeps asking me about that day. Daddy, help me. Why won't you come save me? Is it because I broke my promise with you and didn't eat your sweets? I couldn't care less. My father left me all alone. Even if we share the same blood, that man is not my father.
Objection.
Smug. I hate to say it, but like father, like son, you're the spitting image of him, Simon. The father you hated so much? What are you talking about? It must have been fate. By sheer coincidence, you just happened to use the exact same method your father did. To throw off the victim's time of death. And we rescued him from the refrigerated warehouse. Bam, ba-da-bam. A refrigerated warehouse? You're saying that I threw off the time of death? How would I have done that? The answer lies in where you hid the body. The body double's body. Sorry. This was the place that you used. I'm looking, and it's right here. Nope, that's not it. I wanted to click the button. Thank you. Throwing off the time of death by freezing the body, along with John's kidnapping. Seems that everything is coming together. Kidnapping? Why are we going back to that? I don't know a thing about it. Don't forget, John was confined in a refrigerated warehouse. That's right, you kept the body double's corpse in that very same warehouse. 18 years ago, your father hid a body in the same way. What? My father? The one who abandoned me did the same thing? Oh, so you admit it. Very nice. Who would have guessed that both father and son would use the same method?
Objection.
Stop it! Don't let me in with that guy. Too late, already did it. My father, I'm nothing like him. There's not a single connection between us.
Objection.
I mean, you're both murderers, so you may think so. But even now, your bond with Mr. Gustavia still remains. Didn't you say once before, I don't like sweets? That may have come from the shock of losing your father, don't you think? You guys have no idea what you're saying. Actually, I'm very much in tune with what I'm saying, yes. Even if you deny your father, aren't your thoughts and actions the same? Particularly, your belief of sacrificing others to protect yourself. And finally, your crimes were brought to light just as his were. Just kidding. I don't know anything about that warehouse. I had nothing to do with the kidnapping after all.
Objection!
In order to threaten Judge Courtney, it's clear that you partook in the kidnapping.
Objection!
How scary. Those who get involved with you will be charged with all sorts of crimes. In the end, there's no evidence for the instigation and for the kidnapping. None at all. Or what? You gonna forge some evidence? Just like Blaze and the rest? I'll do nothing of the sort. Can't let him provoke me. You always say, I'll pursue the truth no matter what. Right? Don't you mean only the truth that's most convenient to you? After all, that's how the police pull the wool over the eyes of those without power. Yeah, well, Edgeworth's kind of a different breed. And that's why my revenge was necessary. None of you can catch me. Not Patricia, not Blaze, and not even you. Mr. Edgeworth, at this rate, isn't there something, anything we can do? And though all my logic points to this man, I just need evidence. Even a single piece of evidence would suffice. Well, it's been a fun show, but it looks like it's time for the curtains to close. If you'd like, why don't you come and see my next performance? I'll let you, even if you admit defeat. Hold it. Who was that? Gumshoe? Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth. Gummy, where'd you go? I was just doing the job that I'm able to do, pal. Detective Gumshoe, your report, please. I did a quick investigation, sir, about the warehouse John was at. That's right, you did tell him to do that. Gumshoe, you beautiful man! That refrigerated warehouse is currently being rented by the Berry Big Circus, just as Mr. Edgeworth said. So it's finally here. Our trump card. Well done, Detective Gumshoe. Now then, Mr. Keys. There must be some mistake. Maybe it has something to do with the circus. You see, indeed, we're not well informed with the affairs of the circus. In that case, why don't we get your boss's opinion on this? Regina? You are renting a refrigerated warehouse to store the animals' food, but I don't know much about the place. After all, I let Simon handle everything. Curse you! Yeah, Simon, how scary. Ah, Regina coming in clutch yet again. What a shame. It seems your desperate actions after the crime were in vain. If the body was found in the warehouse, suspicion would have fallen on you, the one in charge. That's why you specifically moved the body back to the Grand Tower, wasn't it? However, us finding John confined to the warehouse was a fatal mistake on your part. Our resident great thief and detective are both rather exemplary. Edgeworth has friends and he's okay to saying it now. What's wrong? I can even tell through your face paint that you're looking pale. It's not over yet, Mr. Edgeworth. Your logic is missing the most important piece of evidence. Well, please do tell. Isn't it obvious? Evidence that I killed the body double with the balloon. You can't present it, can you? After all, there's no way such evidence could possibly exist. The evidence? It exists. What'd you say? If Mr. Keys murdered the victim, traces of the murder should still remain here. Yeah! Let's present that balloon for the 50,000th time! Let's go! It should become clear once we examine the basket of this balloon. The balloon again? Didn't you already find the bullet hole? There's no way you'll find anything else there. It'll be fine, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth is a hero who always finds the truth no matter what he's up against. That's right, pal. Of course it's gonna be fine. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of more impossible situations than I can count. Miles, I believe in you too. But more importantly, I'm sure your old man watching over you believes in you as well. Hell yeah! Miles Edgeworth, calm down and think. You're just one step away from the perfect proof. The body double was killed by this balloon. The proof lies in the traces left on the basket. Simon Keyes, it's time for you to atone for your crimes. I'll see it with my own eyes. The moment this past case is settled once and for all. Please, Prosecutor Edgeworth, deliver the final blow to this unforgivable person. This is the final piece of evidence that proves your crimes. Bing, bang, a boom.
Take that!
When John found the body, a bouquet of lion lilies was there as well. Lion lilies? The flowers from Zengfa that represent the bond between parent and child? That's your evidence? Surely they must be buried under a mountain of garbage by now. Moreover, the one who threw it away was John himself. That's not much of a bond now, is it? That language of flower stuff has nothing to do with this. Calm down, John. Certainly, you may have thrown the flowers away. However, I believe those emotions remain as strong as ever. Those bonds will surely protect you from that man in the form of my final piece of evidence. What the heck are you talking about? Those flowers were crushed. Ergo, they must have come into contact with the murder weapon. Perhaps we'll find the very same pollen still stuck to that basket of your balloon. No way, no way, no way! You guys examined the basket just a few moments ago. If there had been any yellow pollen stuck on there, wouldn't you have noticed it then?
Objection!
Mr. Keyes, evidence is not restricted to what you can see with the naked eye. What? Emma! Yes! Would you perform one more scientific investigation for us? Leave it to me. The balloon's basket, right? Yeah, a reaction! This is clearly pollen from a yellow flower. We'll find out soon enough whether or not it's from the same flower. Smug, smug, smug. I'd say this proves that. The body double's death was caused directly by your own hand. So it's not even an instigation charge. You're just a straight up murderer. No, wait, that can't be. You crushed the body double to death on the roof of the tower. Then you retrieved the body and hid it in the warehouse. Did he have to go to the trouble of retrieving the body? 2 nights ago, he knew that a separate incident would occur at the tower. Miss Crane's! Precisely. Leaving the body there would have disrupted his plans. I see. But even so, he couldn't leave the body in the circus warehouse either. Exactly. So the next day, when he was bringing the body back to the tower once again, he saw the small fire John started, which caused the Muzilla's head to fall. Was that when the idea came to you? Your plan to pin the crime on John? You made it look like the murder weapon was the fallen head. Such foul, cowardly behavior. For that reason, you carried the double's body in the balloon and lowered it into the film lot. At that time, the figure of the body double being lowered down by a rope was captured in John's video recording. Damn, it was all... You saw through it all? Damn it! Damn you! You manipulated animals, you manipulated people, and you manipulated cases. Almost as if you were a king. However, it's now all come to an end. Simon, the animals have gotten angry, even Money and Astique. You never thought of them as your friends at all. How sad. Damn it! Don't you look at me with those eyes! It's about time you went back to being a mere clown. A fitting end to your pitiful jester's act. Huh? Back then, he saved me. The only one who helped me was Doggin, so I used everyone else. What's wrong with that? Stop it. Don't come any closer. Stop! That was incredible. Seems the game is finally over. Yang. Shelly to kill her? Mr. Edgeworth, I must thank you. You've exposed the true identity of the mastermind. Now, I am free to... Yeah, what? Drawing a gun would be most inadvisable. Stay where you are and do not move. I don't have a gun. You do have a gun, do you not? You intended to draw and fire it without anyone noticing. Must have taken it from the body double when he killed him. This man has betrayed his bond of trust with me. He would have me kill the president, while knowing full well he was the body double. Lying about a target is an extremely dangerous thing to do in an assassin. Not having all the cards on the table can seriously jeopardize an assassination. However, what is even more unforgivable is your deception in your attempt to manipulate me. The time has come for your retribution. Stop! Whoa! You are... It's been far too long, Shelley. Please step aside. That man is my prey. I must ask you to spare his life. Please permit this young acolyte to receive his proper punishment in prison. And if I refuse? His is the first life I have saved. I will not allow it to be taken away so easily. You saved a life? The assassin, Sirhan Doggin? Ironic, is it not? That I, the one who has taken countless lives, am making a plea for this young one's life? He saved my life, just as I have saved his. Before I knew it, I grew quite fond of the lad. You may laugh at me as much as you wish. However, I must ask that you spare the life of the boy. From one assassin to another, please make this allowance. I understand. If you are willing to go that far. You have my thanks. I am in your debt. No need for thanks. I simply felt there would be no merit in a fight to the death with you. That is all. And with that, I must take my leave. Damn it, wait! Prosecutor Edgeworth, I must thank you as well. It was necessary for this young acolyte to be put in his place. And that you have done. Now then, it's time for me to return to my humble cage surrounded by iron bars. Right, Anubis? Right, boy? Oh? Look who's here. Hey, priest guy. You killed my dad, right? Indeed. I am not one to forget those I have slain. I see. You must despise me, boy with horns. In that case... John! Do not panic. I simply lent the boy with horns my knife. Take that knife. And run it through my throat, oh god. A single stab should do it. I've long grown weary of my wooden carvings. Revenge. John, don't do it! John! Please, I beg of you! Until just now, I had intended to seek revenge, no matter how many years it took. Revenge? Revenge is good! Really good! All your pain and suffering slips away. Everything becomes numb and you'll feel nothing. Yeah, you may be right. I thought about that while I listened to what you had to say. John! But the only one who'd be satisfied with revenge would be myself, right? If I became a murderer, my mom would go through even more pain and suffering. My friends from the movie, too. And all those people who care about me as well. The boy with horns. Says some interesting things. That's right. Finally get it now. I'll never forgive you, but I'm not the one who should punish you. After all, isn't that what my mom and that prosecutor guy are here for? John, you just said some really profound stuff just now. Okay, perhaps you should study up a little more yourself. Is that so? Well then, young one. Is it time for us to depart? Where to? Prison, you dingus. You're going away for the rest of your life. To prison, of course. That place will be our home. Our home? And with that, the case that involved and affected so many people came to a close. However, there was still one last thing I had to do. I am deeply invested. Mr. Edgeworth! Sorry to keep you waiting. Why'd you call Uncle Ray and the rest of us out here? Mr. Edgeworth? The formal proceedings have just come to a close. What are you talking about? This is the place where I once relinquished my prosecutor's badge. This is your prosecutor's badge. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what is the meaning of this? Consider this my resignation. I am no longer a prosecutor. In order to save me when I was suffering from memory loss, A certain man once said, the only ally a defendant has is their attorney. By trusting in their client, an attorney draws closer to the truth. The sight of that man still shines brilliantly in my eyes. Just as the image of my father fighting in court does. It's honestly really nice to see that they made as much of an impact on Edgeworth as they did on that Edgeworth did on him. That's really nice. Gregory. However, this is nothing more than that man and my father's way of life. It is not mine. Mr. Edgeworth? I think I shall live as a prosecutor after all. I see. So you've made your decision. I'm sorry. No, I understand. That's your answer, isn't it? It is. Okay. Then that's the end of this conversation. Don't regret it. Even if you beg me later, I won't let you work for me ever again. I understand. But you know, Miles, mind if I ask why you chose to live as a prosecutor? I'm curious too. Mr. Shields, you asked me this before. To fight crime as a prosecutor or to save people as a defense attorney? I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on. I thought long and hard about that question ever since. How should I live my life? And after this case concluded, I finally found my answer. I want to save people as a prosecutor. As a prosecutor? Simon Keyes. He too was a victim. He lost a parent in a past murder, and with it, the ability to believe in anything else. I, too, know that feeling. The feeling of losing what's important to you and being unable to believe in anything. I doubted everything during my lonely battles in those days. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. The one who saved me was... Mr. Keyes must have been all alone. Unable to find salvation from the law, he had no choice but to turn his hand to revenge. I suppose you never thought to seek out help from the police. No way, no way, no way! As long as Blaze was around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? I want to save those like Simon Keyes. So, how would you save him? I'm sure this tragedy could have been avoided if only he could have relied on the courts. But instead, he was cornered by Blaze de Best, who used the power of law for evil. The form of the law can change depending on who wields it. It can be once a shield to protect, and a blade to harm. That, too, is a contradiction of the law. A contradiction, huh? And that's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right. The only way to right those contradictions is by joining in the court system. The one who could have saved Simon Keyes was not an attorney, but rather a watchman of the law, a prosecutor. I shall face the contradictions in the law as a prosecutor. I see. That's just like you. But you know, it'll be tough. It won't be just a walk in the park. You'll be going up against the law itself. You do realize that, right? I do. However, someone must. Yep. Uncle Ray believes in you too. The law evolves and grows just like all of us do. I'm sure you can pull it off. After all, you're Gregory's son. Your old man would never give up no matter what. His eyes always saw only what laid straight ahead. Miles. When you chose to live as a prosecutor, your eyes looked just like your father's. Looks like you've grown up a bit. I really wish your old man could see you now. Thank you very much, Mr. Shields. So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, allow me to formally return this to you. Please do. I, Justine Courtney, as a member of the PIC, do hereby return to Miles Edgeworth the rights and privileges of a prosecutor in the name of the Goddess of Law. Awesome. And with that, Prosecutor Edgeworth is revived! That's great, sir. So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, it's time for Uncle Ray to make his exit. You have to report to your old man about all that traitor in the Edgeworth family. Thank you for everything. Truly. The next time we meet just might be in the courtroom. I hope you'll be ready. Uncle Ray might not look it, but he's an ace attorney after all. I'll look forward to seeing the attorney my father trained in action. Take care. Prosecutor Edgeworth, welcome back. Judge Courtney, I must give my thanks to you as well. To me? You sought to fix the corruption within the PIC from the inside. That must truly have been a lonely battle. No, it was not. For I was never alone. Because the Goddess of Law is always by your side, right? You made me realize that one could fight in such a way. The prosecutor's office, no, the entire legal world is caught up in this contradiction. If that cannot be set right, there is a truth that will never see the light of day. It was only through your help that I was able to find this new path. One that fights against the contradictions in the law. I, too, find that promising, as one in the service of the Goddess of Law. You shall certainly succeed in helping the law grow. Let us meet again in the courtroom. Yes. I must apologize for my shameful acts during the trial 2 days ago. Next time, I shall fulfill my duties as a judge perfectly. Your Honor, I do not intend to speak regarding your ideals. Prosecutor Edgeworth? However, the greatest judge I know is one overflowing with humanity. Even during a trial, that judge experiences happiness, anger, sadness, and joy. But nevertheless, always hands down the correct verdict in the end. Dang straight he do! It's difficult to say, but sometimes I feel that perfection is not always correct. So, a judge too has the right to behave in such a manner. Thank you very much, Prosecutor Edgeworth. When I pursued and fought against Blaze the Best, the Goddess of Law was not the only one by my side. Aww. Ah, it's John! When I have this cut out with me, I feel a strange sense of courage well up from within. No matter how painful things become, no matter how strong the foe, when I've remembered that I'm not alone, I'm able to keep moving forward. Wrongs must be put right, for John's sake as well. John, too, lost his father in a past crime. That seems to be the most common crime in this entire franchise, if I'm being honest. That is more important to me than even the words of the Goddess of Law. Aww. Though I'm sure the goddess would be angered by those words. Your bond with your son is the secret to your strength, I imagine. I don't have to be perfect. I just want to grow little by little. Both as a judge and as a mother. That is how I feel. Seems there's much each of us have yet to learn. Agreed. We are still but children before the world. Let us grow in our respective paths until we meet again. I shall look forward to that reunion. May the blessings of the Goddess of Law be upon you as you follow your new path. Though I once lost my position as prosecutor, I have now reclaimed it, so that I may tread a new path as a prosecutor. I shall surely reach the truth waiting at the end of this path, no matter how difficult the path may be. If any seek to stop me on my path, they shall receive no mercy. No matter who they may be, I will shout just one word. I don't even know what to say. Chief, what sort of scoop are you aiming for next? Hey, ain't you a journalist? There ain't nothing more important than information. You may be my apprentice, but you're still my business rival. I ain't gonna tell you everything. That's my mentor, all right. I reckon you're even more prepared than me. I understand. I'll get my information using my own 2 feet. Yeah, that's the spirit. By the way, would you mind asking what sort of scoop you're aiming for next? Huh? Chief? Ain't no need to be stingy. I'm your mentor, after all. That's just heinous. That, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, was Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth, The Prosecutor's Path, I believe is the full title. This is just a damn phenomenal game. Truly phenomenal. It seems that the wound on my left arm has yet to heal. The bodyguard who inflicted this wound upon me. His is a name I will never forget. Now then, shall I return to being a simple ice cream salesman? Perhaps this time I should try being a crepe salesman instead. For now, I shall live a calm life, until my services are required once more. The competition for best game in the Ace Attorney franchise is exceptionally steep. But man, might have been knocked out once by that prosecutor named Edgeworth. But I'll keep on trying to escape. I won't let him dampen my fighting spirit. Ain't that right, Rocky? The gong that'll sound off my next escape will ring out soon enough. Until then, let's keep working out. I don't know if I can call this the greatest game in this franchise, but I can say that it is an incredibly large contention. Like, this is top 3 no matter what. You're inquiring into my studies to become a pet groomer. I'm working as hard as ever. I spend every day covered in mud. Perhaps that suits my true nature far better than the life of a newspaper salesman. Once I leave the prison, I hope to earn an honest wage as a pet trimmer. Huh? My sentence has been extended because I was Warden Roland's accomplice? Oh. No! Haha! Why do you think I've been giving a rat's ass about these stupid animals' well-being? The hell with the pet trimmer's license! Damn it! Oh, and he almost looked like he actually changed his ways slightly. So much for that. Isn't it interesting how I originally started hating Edgeworth as a character because he was an asshole? Funny how things change. Regina was truly shocked about the truth about Simon, too. I mean, I trusted him as my subordinate. But there's no use fretting over it. The show must go on. I have to do my best so that I won't lose to the magic or ventriloquist divisions. I'll put on the greatest performance ever, one that'll blow away this entire case. Aw, she's really grown a lot since I last saw her. That's awesome. Edgeworth is really, truly, legitimately one of the most tightly written and amazing characters I think I've ever seen. Seems I have grown soft in my old age, right, Anubis? Right, boy? To think the life I saved on a whim 18 years ago would drive me to such lengths. Thanks to that, I am confined to my humble cell once more. Well, this time that child is here as well. Perhaps it won't be such a bore, right, boy? Video games are pretty friggin' amazing, aren't they? Today's dessert is chocolate cake! That gently melting moment of allure. I will wait for you forever, Kate. I shall come here every day, just as you and Raymond did for me. Monsieur Shields, Prosecutor Edgeworth, I am truly grateful to them. I cannot believe I am able to eat your desserts once more, Monsieur Master. I have been allowed to distribute my treats in both the detention center and the prison. For the past 18 years, I have brought joy to one and all with my delicious sweets. I'm really glad about those two being able to be happy. Definitely grew fond of them, my goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man, kudos abound to the people who translated this game, because this was never official. This is a fan thing. Yes, see? Thanks for everything, boys. Of course, I owe Greggy my thanks, too. After all, I get to stuff myself with Jeffy's delicious desserts once again. Oi! Next time, maybe I'll use one of Jeffy's sweets to create a new drug. Please don't do that. The tuck-in diet. You'll tuck in your stomach while you tuck into desserts. It'll be delicious and slimming, and also good for your health. Well, power to you, I suppose. But yeah, no, this is a fan translation. With the exception of a few obvious memes that were thrown in. Straight up, man, I would never have been able to tell this wasn't official. Man, I'm glad I got to meet and sketch so many beauties. But Mandy caught a glimpse of my beauty sketch. She had a misunderstanding and clobbered me in the face with my sketchbook. So, in exchange for my sketch of beauties, I had one beauty walk out on me. Maybe it's time for me to start getting more serious about my life. God forbid. Do I take the path of an artist, or do I follow the path of my heart? Oh, and by heart, I mean the heart of my new lady. God, you suck, Larry. Let there never be any doubt of that. I guess the only last thing I can think to bring up. Mr. Bad, thanks for all your help today. I'll testify about the IS-7 incident as much as you need me to. Prosecutor Edgeworth seems pretty active, too. He chose not to take the same path as Gregory, but rather to live as a prosecutor. Well, I am kind of sad that I won't get to work with him, but I'll continue to watch over him. Looks like you've grown up quite a bit yourself. I'm so happy. Mr. Bad actually praised me. If you ever need a hand from Attorney Raymond Shields, give me a call anytime, any place. If this truly is the final time I'm ever going to see, like, any of these characters again, then just straight up, this was a phenomenal way to say goodbye to them. My crimes were punished far more intently than I expected, once it was proven that I had been threatened. Ow! No crime is more heavy or light than any other. I'm sorry. Of course I regret what I did. However, I'm so glad I can still be together with you, Granny. Huh? You want to hurry back to work? That's right. The next corpse is waiting for us after all. That's disturbing. The Ace Attorney franchise is legitimately one of the greatest franchises in the history of all gaming, and I don't want to hear anybody say otherwise. I'm glad that my scientific investigation came in handy this time around as well. Good thing I rushed back here all the way from Europe. And now, I have to leave again. That kind of takes the fire out of a girl, as you can imagine. But this is all so that I can become an actual forensic scientist. So then I guess it's time to go. If anything comes up, be sure to call me right away. The second I get the word, I'll dash right over. Bye, Emma. I'm honestly just really incredibly happy that I was able to even see her again at all. Let's be entirely real here. I didn't think she was ever gonna come back. Franny! I will miss her dearly. The greater the father, the greater the expectations are for their children. Prosecutor the best, was it? His way of life shall be tested henceforth. Just as mine was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live a different life from his father, as a prosecutor. I suppose that too is an answer. Oh, this is such a bittersweet moment. I'm happy but sad. Could never have imagined the truth that my old man was hiding. Unlike me, who only thought about the Lang clan. My old man was trying to protect an entire nation. But I swear to you all that I will carry on his will. Even if the president was a fake, and the real one was murdered. And I swear that I, together with my men, shall revive Zhengfa. Someday I will surely show you all a Zhengfa brimming with life. I suppose next time, we'll begin a whole new chapter, whole new protagonist, whole new world. I've asked everyone to stop calling me the best. I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm just borrowing Pop's power. I shall study even harder than before and triumph over Pops. I'll become strong enough so that I won't lose even to Mr. Edgeworth. Now then, let's start by thinking up my new nickname. Still a kid. What a good one. A lot has happened, but thankfully the film was a roaring success. The gossip articles about the murder made our movie the talk of the country. A monstrous man appears from the mighty Mozilla. This is the true face of the monster who murdered the president of Zhengfa. Huh? Isn't that you in the photo, Mr. Powers? Huh? How could something like this happen? Poor Powers. Well, now it's fine, isn't it? It's thanks to those articles that our film is a big hit. Much obliged. I hope you all have deeply enjoyed this extensive gameplay. My goodness, this game was long, much longer than the other one. John, I greatly enjoyed watching your movie. It's no big deal. It's not like I had a major role or anything. I thought you were the lead. What are you saying? You played the key character who connects Mozilla and Gordy. There's no one else besides you who could have played the part. Yeah, I guess. Well, it would be nice if there's a sequel. Really enjoy working as an actor. Mom, before we head home, can we go buy something? I'd like to decorate our home with a lion lily for Dad. Then one will not suffice. You'll need 2 more. One for me and one for Amy. Aww. How we ending this? Oh, I might never see any of them again. That's legitimately painful. Wow, we were really busy with all those cases, weren't we, sir? Yeah, it's been quite the month. Indeed we were. Why did all these incidents happen in such quick succession? I feel like things are always busy whenever I'm around. Wait, Kay, wouldn't that mean you're a magnet for crimes? Yeah, hey, Gummy! That was rude. I do get the impression that he's not entirely wrong. So then, Kay, do you intend to resume your training to become a great thief? I don't know. Huh? Something on your mind, pal? How should I put it? Until now, I've always been chasing after my father, so that I could become a great thief just like him. Like the previous Yatagatasu, I suppose. But watching you, Mr. Edgeworth, made me think, maybe instead of chasing after my father, I should find my own path. I mean, you didn't become a defense attorney either. Chasing after a parent's shadow isn't the only path in life for a child, after all. I'm gonna aim to be a hero in my own way. That sounds good. But of course, that doesn't mean I'm gonna throw away the name of the great thief Yatagatasu. No matter what sort of hero you become, Kay, Kay will always still be Kay. Thanks, Gummy. And Gummy will always be Gummy. Of course, pal. I plan to keep pushing forward on my path of a detective, after all. Mr. Edgeworth, I look forward to continuing to work with you, sir. Yes, I'll be counting on you, Detective Gumshoe. Detective, you saved me many times during these past cases. You have my gratitude. I suggest you look forward to your next salary assessment? Huh? What? Does that mean what I think it means? What's wrong? I'm saying that your salary ought to be raised. Holy hell! Really, sir? I can't believe it. Isn't that great, Gummy? It's like a dream come true. I can finally say goodbye to my instant noodle lifestyle. However, that doesn't mean you can start slacking off. The real work begins from here on out. You should prepare yourself. Yes, sir! Roger that! I'll devote my body and soul to following after you, Mr. Edgeworth. The path Mr. Shields and Judge Courtney taught me is to take a stand against the contradictions in law, and to reach the truth at the end of that road. What am I able to do? This is a question I must continue to dwell upon. Certainly, this path will not be easy. However, Prosecutor Edgeworth, when I pursued and fought against Blaze the Best, the goddess of law was not the only one by my side. Ah, it's John! When I have this cut out with me, I feel a strange sense of courage well up from within. When I remembered that I'm not alone, I'm able to keep moving forward. Your bond with your son is the secret to your strength, it would, I imagine. Bonds, huh? Ah! I completely forgot! That was sudden! What's wrong? I was searching for members for the new Yatagatasu team. Well, now that you mentioned it, I do remember you saying something to that effect. And in the end, I wasn't even able to find a single person. Can you imagine it? A team combining their powers in order to steal the truth? I wanted to create an invincible team like that, but... What are you saying, pal? Don't you already have a team? Together, the three of us can solve any case that comes our way. Yeah, you're right. A prosecutor, a detective, and a great thief. We're the invincible trio of heroes that steals, captures, and pursues the truth. Hearing all that kind of makes me feel sorry for the truth. As long as the three of us are together, there's nothing to fear. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, you are correct. Even Even until his last moments, my father ran along his own path. I too shall advance along mine, accompanied by my somewhat boisterous comrades. As long as they are by my side, I can walk forward without hesitation. On this new path as a prosecutor. Prosecutors and attorneys. The path I walk is not my father's. However, I am certain that the two paths are not separate. Though we may walk in opposite directions, our destination is the same. Why, you may ask? Because both paths lead to the one and only truth. See you all next time.